Hi, and welcome to the Delight Knits podcast, episode 13. This is the podcast where I like to talk about all that I have been knitting on for the last month for this time, because I was not able to podcast the last few weekends. So I hope you enjoy listening to me talk about all that I've been knitting on. My name is Emily, and I am from Southwest Arkansas. You can find me on Instagram as delight_knits. You can find me on Ravelry as Delight Knits. And here on YouTube, which you found. So I have one finished object, which has been finished for 3 of the 4 weeks. And then 3 whips that I've been working on these last few weeks. My first finished object is the wildflower socks. This is the wildflower colorway from Mustache Yarn. I did a heel flap and gusset, so I did break up this right here, but that's fine. Doesn't bug me. I knit these cuff down 64 stitches, a 2x2 rib. I don't remember how many rows. Slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, and then just the normal toe. And so I love these. I haven't worn them much. I haven't been wearing my knitted socks much as it's been 80-90 degrees lately, and that's just too hot for wool socks. But another pair of socks finished. And I actually have not cast on another pair of socks since those. I have been working on just a couple of things. I have my next whip you've seen a few times. It is the newspaper pullover by Locatelli. And I have finished the body. So I was here the last time just starting the pink, just into the pink. And I finished that and got into the ribbing. And so this is, they are yarns by Ruby and Rose's yarn. The pink is Sangria and the gray is Mirror. So Ruby and Rose's yarn. And here are the 2 colorways and bases. I apologize if you can hear my son crying in the other room. But I have just picked up the sleeves and started knitting those. This one, I have not gotten much work done on it at all. But I think it looks great. I'm excited to get it finished. Super excited. So this is, I'm knitting it exactly to pattern, and I believe I'm knitting the smallest size available. So it is an all over brioche sweater. So it's not, it's not a stocking knit sweater, but it's also not very hard, at least to me. Like I got to where I was reading in the evenings and knitting, and I could read and knit on that. So I have also been working on the last podcast I had talked about all the yarn that I dyed for this. And actually I have finished the sleeves on my Boxy Chevrons sweater. So this is the yarn that I dyed that you saw in the vlog. So here's one sleeve and I have the other sleeve, and I just picked up for the body yesterday. But the sleeves are sewn together. And I think that the yarns turned out great. So there's one sleeve. So it will sit, this is actually the front, like this. And then it'll go down. So with this sweater, this is the Boxy Chevrons by, I want to say Susanne Sommer. Let me see if I printed off the title page. Yes, by Susanne Sommer. And so it has a ton of positive ease, and I am knitting the smallest size, or I cast on the sleeves for the smallest size, but the body calls for 16 to 27 inches of positive ease, and the smallest size was gonna give me I don't want that much positive ease, so I actually cast on my own size for the body instead of what the pattern says, which is just, there's a little bit of short rows and then some stocking knit for the body, so I don't think it'll cause me any issues. But this is the sweater that the ladies at the Arkansas Yarn Co. are doing as a kind of a knit along. I don't know if it's an actual knit along, it's just but everybody who's able to go to the Arkansas Yarn crawl on to Arkansas Yarn Co. on Saturday in July. I want to say it's like the third weekend in July. This is the sweater that they'll all be wearing and have a picture taken with everybody wearing the same sweater. So I don't know if I will or will not be able to make it, but I loved the sweater and I have been wanting, it was actually in my favorites before they picked it, so perfect time to cast it on. And I love it so far. We'll see how it goes. This is my second whip and second sweater that I've been working on here lately. So this is yarn that I dyed in my vlog, and I know I talked about it last time. So I've got these two colors here. If I can get them not tangled. Yeah, there we go. And they turned out great contrast-wise. I was afraid that they would be too similar, but I think it's, once you actually knit them together, I think it turned out great. So, pretty excited about this and to get it started and finished. It's just basically a lot of stocking knit from here on out. I have one more whip. So, Maddie and Christen of We Share Needles, and then Nicole from Professor Pearl are doing a Books and Beanie Mal. And so I've been wanting to knit another Musselburgh for myself. And so I went ahead and cast that on a week from today. So today is May 22nd of 2022. So I cast that on a week from today, a week ago, and I am almost done. So if you have been watching or have watched all of my episodes, in the beginning when I first started, you might have seen me knitting a Musselburgh exactly like this. This is yarn that I dyed, where half of it's going to be green, half of it's orange for hunting. My husband's family are big hunters, and so this way when you fold it in half, I should have grabbed the other one, but I think he's packed it away. When you fold it in half, you've got a reversible hat where half of it's going to be green and half of it's going to be orange. So you walk to the stand with your hunter regulation orange, and then as soon as you get to the stand, you can flop it out for the camouflage area. So these are the leftovers from my husband's Musselburgh, and I'm just making a second one for anybody to grab when and if it's cold during hunting season. So I actually knit on this in the car a lot this week. This is where I finished my increases, and I'm actually going to start decreasing here soon. Yeah, oh, I'm dropping stitches. Uh-oh. I am knitting this. So this is the Musselburgh hat. Everybody raves about it. Of course, Maddie and Christen do. I'm knitting this on my Chow Goose Shorty set, the red set. on some US 2.53 millimeters and a fingering weight. And this is all the yarn I have left green wise. I probably could have gone more with the green looking back, but it should be fine. Yeah, these stitch markers or progress keepers are from Kay's Crochet Creations, I believe. And it was fun to mark how much my progress each day and see how much I could get, which is great. So this is a week of stocking knitting in place of where I would usually do socks. I will finish this and switch to my Boxy Chevrons and hopefully get that done. And then maybe eventually, I haven't touched my newspaper pullover in a bit, but I'm hoping to get to that soon. So with the books and beanies mound, with We Share Needles and Professor Pearl, they are all reading the Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I don't know who it's by. I will try to remember to put it down in the description box below my video, which I'll have links to everything, to my social media, my Ravelry, any patterns I talk about, just yarn, everything. So I'll link to both of their profiles. They're reading the Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I don't remember who it's by. And I have that on hold through my Libby app, through my library, and it's got, I think, still at like a 10-week wait. So I may not get that in time for the book discussion, but I have been reading, I have read the first 3 books of the Bridgerton series in like the last month. I've read the first book, or A Court of Thorns and Roses. I think that's it for the most recent ones. And then I'm currently reading, oh my gosh, I can't remember it. Big Lies in a Small Town. It was one that Nicole from Professor Pearl gave to Christen to read. And I'm on hold for the rest of the Bridgerton books and the second book of To A Court of Thorn and Roses. So I was needing something to read that wasn't on hold that I was waiting for. And this one was available, so I started it. I think I'm halfway through it, and it's pretty good. I don't remember who it's by, but I'll have it linked below as well. I love the book recommendations because finding books to read is not, I like to just get it and go. I read pretty fast, and so it's nice to have the recommendations to just grab them and go. But I have enjoyed getting back into reading. I have kind of an obsessive personality where, I get into knitting and I'm full into it. And so when I get into reading, I get into a book and I don't want to put it down. So I have set aside the time to read, like when I'm at work and pumping, I'm reading instead of knitting. And when I am rocking my son to sleep, feeding him right before bed, I will read a chapter or two because he takes a while doing that. And my daughter here recently has been wanting me to sit and hold her hand until she falls asleep. So I have been reading a couple chapters during that time. So that's why my knitting on my newspaper pullover has dwindled. Because as soon as that's done, I'm like, I'm ready for bed. But I've enjoyed getting back into it. So the weather is getting warmer. These last few weeks have been hot. We got our above ground pool cleaned out and filled up. We only filled it up to like 2.5 feet, 2 feet, to where it hits my daughter about right here in her armpits, so she can run around out there and we can all kind of actually enjoy ourselves. And me and my husband each aren't holding a kid and we get a break. So that has been great. We've actually gotten in it 2 or 3 times and she's loved it. We have started a very late garden. We've planted some watermelon seeds last week, and they've sprouted and they're doing great when my daughter doesn't step on them. We got some starts of a couple tomato plants, a couple jalapeno plants, and then we actually started some seeds of a few other plants this weekend. So we're hoping they'll take. It's a little later than we probably should have, but it was a spur of the moment. We're doing this. We're not waiting until next year, like we say with most of our things. So this is kind of a short episode, but it's the little bit of time I have to share my knitting with you. I hope everybody is having a great time. Oh, there's one other thing. So DFW Fiberfest is, so the Dallas Fort Worth Fiberfest. It's in Irving, Texas, and it's not far from my parents' house, and my birthday is in the end of September. So I told my husband for my birthday, I want to go to DFW Fiberfest, and I want to take a class. And so registration for classes was yesterday, and I signed up to take the textural brioche class with Leslie Ann Robinson, and I am so excited for that. I'm just ready for September to get here. Yes, kind of, not really. So I just want to let you know that I will be attending, hopefully Friday and Saturday. We'll see. There's still some time, but I will definitely be there Saturday. And I am super excited to be able to go to that now that they're back up and running. And I'm glad it's in September. So perfect birthday trip. Well, I hope everybody's having a great time. I'm going to go and see what my kids are up to. So, thanks for watching. Bye.